Hey everybody, welcome back to Restaurant Food Fast. Ward's conspicuously absent today, so we are going to do the episode one camera and me. Trying to figure out what to do. I've shown everybody how to do top sirloins, London broil. What I'm going to do today is more like it's a skewer on the grill, like a teriyaki beef or a Mongolian beef, depends how you season it. I haven't figured out how we're going to season it yet, but we'll get to that when we start. It's really simple again. I've got skewers soaking in water so they don't burst into flame. And to process, I want them thin, so I'm just going to start cutting on the bias to get strips. And as you get deeper and deeper, you're going to get longer and longer pieces. So you can start with a few small ones, and then you end up, as you can see, they get bigger and bigger. And I'm cutting it on the bias a little, which with this cut of meat makes it more tender. It also gives you a little more area. And that's pretty much how I'm going to work that entire piece doing that. So that's nothing real major. But I'm just cutting them nice and thin, about 1/8. And I'm going to process that all out, and then we'll figure out how we're going to season them. Cutting this on the bias, trying to get a little more depth to the meat. Trying to get a nice piece, something that's going to skewer right. It's not going to shrink up too much. Talking about knife choice, doesn't really matter, whatever you're comfortable with. Thickness, these are varying. As you can see, some of them I'm cutting really thin, some of them are a little thicker. When you're doing skewers, it's not all that important because nothing's going to be rare. Typically I'd like to do just salt and pepper, because that's the way I like beef. But I think I'm going to season this. Make a little bit of a marinade. To the fridge. Soy. Cardamom chili. Onion powder. I'll use a lot of this. This will overpower everything.
And what was the stuff you just put in?
Chinese mustard. Off. Sit. It's good. Need sugar. Meat in bag. Sit. Seasoning. There we go. Push around. You can set this in the fridge for a day, days, hours, minutes. Freeze it like this. I used to do that a lot when I'd find the flavor that I wanted time and time again. I would do all the process when I bought the product, put it in the freezer, and that way I just have to pull the pack out. Done. But yeah, mush it around, get the, basically just made a Chinese barbecue. Basically. There you go. And I'm going to plop that right there and let it sit for a little bit while I do two things. One, I gotta get the grill preheated, and two, gotta do the couscous, which is going to be the starch for this, which means I have to clean up after breakfast. Box product. Couscous.
Easy opening packages?
Yes. The squirrel has never had couscous. And we picked up Israeli couscous the other day.
What exactly is couscous?
Pasta. Tiny, tiny pasta. Israeli, on the other hand, is pastina. It's about the size of pastina. So it's very familiar to anyone who's, eats Italian food at all. You can get couscous straight, just like any other pasta. You can get it seasoned. I'm using the Near East product, which I've never had an issue with them. But as for pasta size, let me get a shot down here. I'll pour some out. That is the size of couscous. It's tiny. Whereas, regular pastina is twice these and very uniform. This isn't. Fairly dry product. It's very good though. I like it a lot.
So what have you done to the pan?
The pan? Basically put in water, butter, and their spice packs. Like I say, this is a completely boxed product. You don't have to use the spice packs at all. I've done that before because couscous is still not readily available here in Pittsburgh. So most of the time you get it, it's sold with a pre-seasoning package. I've thrown out the package and just used the couscous if you want it plain. But this time I'm just gonna mash it all together and serve it with the beef stuff. So this takes very, very short time. When the water boils, pour it in, turn it off, it's done. It soaks up all the water and it's eaten. Turn it off. Dump in your couscous. Give it a quick stir. Take it off the heat. Lid it. That's it.
So for those of us playing at home, well, how long did that marinate for?
10 minutes?
10, 15.
10, 15 minutes? Doesn't take a whole long time. Traditional marinades, you can put them on for a long time, a little bit of time. Now you can take these and double them. Depends how much, how straight you want it. So you can do 2. It's going to shrink up a little bit, or you could take it and go tighter. It's going to make it a little more rigid, but a little harder to get off the stick. You could run 2 sticks down the sides, but I prefer to do this. And that's all it is. That's all we're doing. Just like the skewers we did for the shrimp, just like the skewers, any of the skewers you do. I'm not putting any vegetable with this because it's just going to be the skewered beef. Like Mongolian beef or teriyaki beef or any of the vendor sticks you get out. Damn it, that broke. It's done. That's tasty too. What, you guys don't eat raw meat? Come on, tartare is some good stuff. The right seasonings can make a shoe taste good. That's pretty much all you're looking for. And you just fire them on a grill just like that. I've got a bunch of these to do, so I'm going to sit here and start skewering away. Couscous is done. You get a shot in here into the steam's going to mess with your auto finder. It's actually a very dry product. It absorbs all the liquid in there, and it comes out very dry, very fine pasta, just little pasta beads. It's really good too.
So that wasn't drained at all. That's just straight.
Mm-hmm.
Just like cooking rice.
Yep. Except when you do couscous, you don't cook it. You boil your water and add your couscous to it. You don't cook it after that. So you, at that point, take it off the heat, lid it, it's done. The pasta's so small that boiling water cooks it right now. That's all it is. It fluffs up real nice. It's a good alternative to rice. Anything. I like it actually better than rice because I can cook it better than rice. As you know, I have problems with that. So yeah, I'm not going to go through skewering all this. We're going to do this production style. I'm going to fire these things on the grill. Show you how to do a couple on the skewers, but I'm just going to take the strips and lay them on my grill. It's going to take about 2 seconds to cook these because they're so thick. Paper towel, olive oil.
And why would you want to do this?
So your product doesn't stick.
So peanut oil, vegetable oil, anything like that would be acceptable as well? A stick of butter?
Butter doesn't work so much. Although you probably could. It's just oil in the grill. I mean, I turned it on, got it real hot, cleaned it, and just going to re-oil it. 1 second, I'll go get the rest of the product and we'll grill. These are the type of things that by the time they go on, if you have a bunch of them, the first ones will be done by the time you get the last ones on. So all I'm going to do is get right up in the camera, take strips, and I'm just going to go right across the grill with them. Just like that. And I'm going to cover my grill with these little bits of meat which is a wonderful thing. Now the trick to doneness on these, there really isn't one. Cook them for as long or as little as you like, because the thinness that you've cut it to is going to make them tender regardless. Now you can jerky them if you leave them on too long, but that still wouldn't be bad. This would be a good jerky marinade. I might actually be able to get to turn these once, because I don't have the grill at 600 degrees. I know those can be turned. If you're doing a dinner party, have people skewer their own if they're not too drunk. If they're already in the bag, don't let them skewer their own, because they're going to end up skewering themselves. Ta-da! See how they're turning gray with the blood pulling through? That means that they're ready to turn. That's it. So technically all of these are going to be well done, but again, because they're so thin, it's not really going to make a whole lot of matter to them. There you go. These off. Hot. Yum. Tender and tasty. Yes. Tender and tasty. Very good. There you go. All I did was took a little bowl, one of your little ingredient bowls, rubbed some butter in it, jammed the couscous in it to pull out the mold. This is peppers and onions just sauteed in butter. Put the Chinese barbecued beef over top of that, a little on top for color. There you have it. Very simple, very easy. If you would put a couple tomatoes around here, it would make the gorgeous, blah, 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 blah. Very simple. Again, top rounds, London broils, whatever you want to call them, are a really, really good cut of meat for this economy. They're inexpensive, really good quality, not a lot of fat. You get a lot of product and you can do a ton of things with it. Change the seasoning we did and you've got fajitas. You can run the gamut. We've cooked them twice on the grill so far, just grilled. And second day product of it, if you cook it rare, you've almost got a tartare for the second day. Like I say, for this economy, if you can find them, they're generally, I think they're $2.40 a pound, something like that, which for beef prices is really good. So can't go wrong with those. That, the chicken breast, the pork loin, those are my standbys when the economy's getting really tight. But there you have it. Easy thing to do, really quick. We're done for this week. We'll find out where in the world war got off to. But You can reach us at restaurantfoodfast@gmail.com. You can hit us up with some tweets at restaurant_food, or you can drop comments at the site, restaurantfoodfast.com. So I'm still not word. We don't know where he is, but until next week, you guys have a good one.